Today, the first three questions, I'm sure he already informed you, the generic questions. First is, when did you first move to Central Florida?
In 2002.
2002? Where did you live before?
I lived in Rhode Island. I retired in 2002 and moved down here.
Oh, okay. What are your earliest memories of Central Florida?
In the mid-'70s, I had a relative that moved down here in the mid-'70s, and I started visiting and really liked the area a great deal. Loved New Smyrna.
It's really beautiful around here. What are your most vivid memories of Central Florida?
Well, I don't know about most vivid, but I would say that what never ceases to amaze me is when I drive over the South Causeway Bridge and look out at the water and the mangroves, and what a beautiful sight that is.
Yeah. A lot of ones I have are running over the bridges. You see something different every
Yeah,
day.
it's beautiful.
Did you study marine biology before working with the Marine Discovery Center?
No, I did not.
No?
No.
So what first interested you in the Marine Discovery
Well,
Center?
when I retired, I was looking for something to do. I wanted to do some volunteer work, a little volunteer work, and I found the Marine Discovery Center. And my love for boating and coming from a coastal state, I was very interested in them, and it was the best decision I ever made.
All right. What year did the Marine Discovery Center first open
In
in operation?
1998.
1998.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What age groups do you work for with the Marine Discovery Center?
Well, we educate the K through 12 groups, but our counselors and our volunteers and staff are from 16 and up until I think we have some people that volunteer and they're 80. So we have a nice cross-section of people, which makes it a lot of fun.
Right, and what are the primary and secondary functions of the Marine Discovery Center?
The primary function is education, and the secondary is restoration of the Indian River Lagoon.
So like all the wildlife and everything?
Yeah, what we do is our goal is to restore the oyster beds and the mangroves, and also our mission is to preserve and protect the lagoon. And we do that through education and community stewardship.
Okay, because my next question was what role do you play in these functions?
I'm the chairman of the board, and I'm also, I chair the major fundraising event that we have each year.
So that's what the chairman of the board does?
Well, no, but the board does have a responsibility to bring in some funds, and that is something that I'm familiar with doing is fundraising, but the role of the board is basically the facilitator of the organization and to make sure that the organization remains on target with their mission.
Okay.
So do you primarily receive your funds from fundraising?
No, we don't. That's just a part of it. The major fundraiser is a big help, but we do get funding from grants. We get funding from our memberships. We have almost 450 members, so you know that comes in. And we also have an annual scholarship drive for underprivileged children, and we have an annual director's appeal. And in the summer, we educate over 500 children in our fee-based camps. So all that, and then we have eco tours on our boat, 40-foot pontoon boat, and also through our kayak tours. So you put it all together, and that's where we get our funding.
Wow. It's a good system. Environmentally, what other groups does the Marine Discovery Center associate with?
Well, we work with the St. Johns River Water Management. We work with NOAA. We work with the Volusia County Echo Rangers. We work with, I think there's a new one here, the Volusia County Environmental Management and Florida Wildlife Commission. And just recently, we had some funding from the Southeast Aquatic Resource Partnership, and it enabled us to establish an oyster restoration program in Port Orange. So we did some oyster restoration right around Rose Bay.
So what does the Marine Discovery Center do to help wildlife out on the beaches?
Our managing director is a member of the, I think it's the Volusia County Mammal Stranding Team, and that is works under the guidance of Hub SeaWorld. And we were doing some bird rescue when the water taxi was working, because then we could transport them over to Marine Science Center. Now we have people that take them over, but we do, because we encounter them more than Marine Science Center does. So and we have some runners that take them. And now we have this other little water taxi that's there, and sometimes they'll bring the birds, and mostly it's pelicans. It's really mostly the pelicans.
And you partially help to restore these animals?
Well,
Rehabilitate them?
no, what we do is we just bring them to Marine Science Center and they take over from there. Yeah.
If a student or anyone wanted to intern or volunteer, how would they go about doing that?
Well, we would love it. All you have to do is just come over Marine Discovery, fill out a volunteer application form, and we have a long list of volunteer opportunities. And we do offer internships, so as far as internship is concerned, you would just have to meet with our managing director, but the volunteer would be filling out the application form.
Do you need anything to qualify to do so?
Not at all. We would just need people with a passion and a love for the water.
Are you happy that you
I love it. I just absolutely love it.
What is your favorite marine animal?
The dolphin.
Why?
Well, I like it because I think it's probably closest to a human being out there. They're a very intelligent creature. They appear to be friendly, but they don't get up really close to you like the manatee does. The manatee really wants somebody to touch it, but we can't do that. But they're playful and they're fun, and I think they're just very fascinating creatures.
What are the benefits of being a Marine Discovery Center employee?
Well, I think the benefit is the joy and the passion of working with people who have the same thoughts and ideas that you have, and making a difference, making a huge difference. You know, 60% of the marine life that's in the lagoon, out in the ocean, spawn in the lagoon. And if we don't protect it, we don't protect the seagrasses, and we don't protect it, then we won't have a lagoon anymore. Not the way we know it. Yeah.
Is there anything I didn't ask that you would like to talk about?
Well, yeah, I would like to. I would like to mention that the Marine Discovery Center's plan for 2014 is to continue with its water quality and seagrass and horseshoe crab monitoring programs, and we're going to expand the community and restoration projects through the creation of a 4-acre salt marsh and a new oyster recycling program on our site, which is really officially called the Mosquito Lagoon Marine Enhancement Center. And that's going to start in March. I think that's going to be pretty exciting. Yeah.
What's the purpose of the Oyster Bay restoration? Is it is it economic? Or?
Well, it's mostly, oysters filter about 100 gallons of water a day.
Really?
So they filter an enormous, but they keep the waters clean. And what's happened now with this algae bloom, the brown water takes the oxygen out, and the oysters are getting smaller, and the clams are not surviving. So but the oysters is what filters it. They're filter creatures, and they just keep it going. And of course, naturally, I love oysters, so. Yeah, and I think there was a time in the Mosquito Lagoon had a wonderful beds of oysters. Now they're kind of sparse. Yeah.
Will the seagrass program, will that help, like, for example, with storm surge?
Yes, it will. In this marsh area, we want to grow the Spartina grass, and then people can purchase it and then use it on their waterfront.
Oh, okay.
And because it works, it's much better to have a natural bulkhead than it is anything that's not, because all it does is just exacerbate the issue. And we also will be growing mangroves, and we do a lot of mangrove restoration as well, and that protects the storm surge.
Absolutely.
Very much so. Yeah.
You're an educator, so you've taken a lot of groups around. And so what's the funniest thing that ever happened, or the most disastrous thing that ever happened with a tour group?
Well, I haven't. I'm not an educator, and And I really don't.
you don't work
No,
directly with
I
the
don't.
children?
No, I don't. I don't work directly with them at all. I don't, not at all. Unfortunately, I think a couple of our teachers would have a lot of stories to tell.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
that might be part of your volunteer work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You mentioned that you work with the Science Center, but are you guys related in any way to the Science Center?
No, we
It's its own
work
entity.
together. Yeah, exactly. The Marine Science Center is operated by the county.
Okay.
And Marine Discovery Center is totally self-supporting. We receive no funds from any municipality or the county or the state.
Wow,
Yeah, so we have to work very hard.
no kidding.
Yeah, we do. We have to work we just don't get the funding.
So if
Yeah.
you find, say, an injured animal, this happened to me recently, I found a pelican with a
Mhm.
broken wing, like in my front yard.
Mhm.
And I was calling around trying to figure out like where to take this thing. I mean, and I did find out that it needed to go to the Marine Science Center
Right.
over in Ponds. But is the best way to do that to just take it to you guys? And
Take
you
it,
guys
you could
deal with
take it
from there?
directly over, and also, I don't know if you're aware of it, but it calms them down if you just put a towel over
That's
their
what we did.
heads. Yeah, it settles them down, otherwise they get, but that's the best thing, is to just take it directly over to Ponce, which is a long ride. It worked
This-
out
but-
nicely when we had the water taxi, because we
Yes.
just put it on the water taxi and alert. But what we do, you can let us know, and, we call on and let them know that someone's coming with a pelican or whatever other type of
But if we
creature.
drop it at your New Smyrna location?
We just
will you
have to
guys-
bring it
will
over.
you guys take it over
Yeah,
then?
we would have to do that, yeah. So it'd be best to, for the sake of the animal, to go over
Go
directly.
ahead and take it yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
As soon as possible.
Right, right.